renewed calls for a mass overhaul of the air traffic control system following a tense 90 seconds of no communication between air traffic controllers and pilots at Newark Airport last week. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is expected to announce details of a plan tomorrow. Joining us right now to talk about all of this is former FAA Acting Administrator under President Biden, Billy Nolen. Billy, I just want to say there's a lot of people who are very concerned about whether it's safe to be traveling here. What do you think?
Yeah, good morning, Becky, and thanks for having me on. So the bottom line up front is that the system is safe, but certainly it could be more resilient, and that's what we're hearing from Secretary Duffy, and that's what he is working on. We've got a very much of an aging infrastructure that has been addressed in incremental ways for the past 2 decades. So when I look at all of this, the first thing I would say to the flying public is that our system is safe. There are redundancies in place, but it is an aging system, and it is literally hundreds of systems that the FAA controls that all need modernizing.
The modernization projects have been underway for forever. They're not supposed to officially end until the year 2030 to get these systems up to speed. Is there something that can be done more quickly?
There are. I think first and foremost, I commend Secretary Duffy for his leadership. I commend Acting Administrator Chris Rochelle and that team, right? But the House is committed. Senator Cruz gave a speech back in February talking about his commitment and a Senate Commerce Committee commitment to doing this. Sam Graves on the House T&I side expressed the same sentiment. It looks like they're ready to give a good deal of money versus the $1 billion or so that have sort of been allocated toward modernization. We've just got to stop this this incremental approach to it, and now it's the time for really strong leadership, industry engagement, and we've just got to move faster so that the flying public can just have this sense of confidence that this system is continually safe, but it's resilient as well. So you just don't have a 90-second outage and these prices like that.
It's not just the system. It sounds like it's a shortage of air traffic controllers or air traffic controllers that are burned out by this or frustrated and walked off the job. Look, 5 of them apparently took the 45-day leave that they're allowed to take after trauma in a situation like this. Chuck Schumer is saying that DOGE was part of the problem with this. Is that the case? I don't think anybody wants to hear politics on this. I just think they want to know what's wrong and how to fix it.
I don't believe that's the case. Look, I think, certainly I've talked to the FAA. I've been in contact with folks there, the folks who man controllers, there've been no controllers let go to my, that is clearly my understanding. I believe that to be the case, that some of these are in support roles. All that aside, Secretary Duffy is taking absolutely the right approach. It's time to move forward. It's time to move forward in a big way. This is something that's already been articulated by the president. So let's do it. Let's, forget, to your point, let's forget name calling. Let's get this done and make our system the best that it can be.
There was a report from NBC. Tom Costello there was told by an air safety official that nobody should be going near Newark, that they would avoid Newark at all costs. Would you fly through Newark at this point, Billy?
I absolutely would. Look, Scott Kirby, CEO of United Airlines, I was in conversation with other CEOs just yesterday. And what I can tell you is that Scott runs an incredible airline at United. Newark needs work. It's a level 2 slot control airport. What does that mean? That means that a lot of the constraints in place are voluntary. I believe the FAA, DOT are looking at whether to change that to a level 3. But slot control airport, what that would mean is that the controls would be more rigid. People would be able to game the system, if you will, to ensure that whatever that number of slots, that's what you would have. Now, that would reduce some level of competitiveness, if you will. I mean, that's what others would say. But when you look at what needs to be done in Newark, until we really get this Northeast corridor fixed until we get the kind of investments that we need to make the system even more resilient and the ability to handle more efficiently the increases in traffic that we're seeing across the nation. It might be time to go reconsider that.
Is this a situation that you think can be fixed quickly? If so, how quickly? And are we facing a summer of lots of these hours and hours and hours of delays?
Well, there's this very much of a collaborative approach, and it's been that way at the FAA forever. There are, briefings every couple of hours with industry. So at the National Command Center, there's this level of interaction. All that aside, and the airlines are ready. We run a safe operations. We run a safe NAS. As you're all aware, we do anywhere between 45 and 50,000 commercial flights per day, moving nearly 1 billion people. These years, and we've come roaring back, well beyond what we had with the downturn in COVID. All of that aside, what are the things? The Secretary is working on, how do we address the controller situation quickly? You could be some bonuses there. He's talked about having folks stay on. We'll see as he lays out the plan tomorrow. The rest, the structural pieces will take more time, but we don't have any more time to waste. So that means, having the money coming from Congress, working with the best and the brightest to build out America's system that's fit for purpose for the next 30 to 50 years. And then all of us come together just to make sure so that we can, not come on to you and talk about other things and not say that, wow, we've seen this happen or we've seen that happen. The American people expect more and they deserve more.